clay meets the pines, Georgia, 1831. Book in his hands before a rifle, finished school before most had begun. White coat hanging by the doorway, mortar, pestle, glass, and flame. He could weigh out hope in milligrams long before the war called his name. When the bugles split the springtime, he saddled up, he rode to fight. Cavalry dust on a doctor's boots, tending wounds by lantern light. On that last hard night at Columbus, steel and thunder, smoke and rain, the saber found his chest and carved his future in a single line of pain. John came home with medals and a shadow in his veins. Bottle on the nightstand, whispering away his name. From sabers to serve, from morphine to hope, mixing every heartbreak into something folks could hold. John never saw the empire, never on the globe, but down in an Atlanta summer, he stirred a cure for woe. Just one glass at a time on a crowded city corner, John Stith Pemberton tried to turn his pain to something sweeter in the world. Back in Columbus, then in Atlanta, he built a lab of southern glass, beakers lined like church roll pews, watching futures rise and pass. Morphine humming in his bloodstream, civil war that would not end. So he went to war with chemistry, made his notebook his best friend. French wine, coca for the headaches, tonic for the weary mind, trying to outrun the darkness with each new formula he'd find. Then temperance winds blew through Georgia, dried the barrel, closed the bars, swapped the wine for soda water, chased salvation among the stars. Every law and every wound kept force in his hand, so he drew a different weapon from the powders on the stand. From sabers to syrup, from morphine to hope, mixing every heartbreak into something folks could hold. John never saw the empire, never on the globe, but down in an Atlanta summer, he stirred a cure for woe. Just one glass at a time at old Jacob's busy counter, John Stith Pemberton tried to turn his pain to something sweeter in the world. Snare drum whispers like a distant line of gray and blue, brass band echoes down Peachtree Street, where horse carts once rolled through. Soldier, chemist, wounded man, chasing sleep he couldn't find, pouring out his restless heart in syrup measured drop by drop in time. John sold the rights for pennies when the ledger spelled defeat, never lived to see his sorrow turn to bubbles in the street. Yet every clink of glass on granite, every hiss of poured out light, carries one Confederate veteran trying to finally make it right. From sabers to syrup, from morphine to hope, mixing every heartbreak into something folks could hold. John never saw the empire, never on the globe, but the world keeps raising glasses from Atlanta long ago. Just one drink at a time, in 1,000 different languages, John Stith Pemberton's trying still to turn our pain to something sweeter in the world. So here's to every veteran who comes home with unseen scars. May you find your own small recipe to turn that darkness into stars. From battlefields to bottles, this one's for the ones who invent a softer landing.